Ooh, Jon.
Whatever happened to Jon, man?
Jon is a problem to his own self, his own damn self. And I only speak about him because you asked about him.
Yeah,
I wouldn't talk about him. There was a clip I saw maybe a year ago. This is just after the Costa fight, just before the Costa fight came out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, he was shooting guns around the strip club, and then he got arrested. Yeah, I know, crazy. Yeah, you can't tip strippers with bullets, man. It's different. But yeah,
can't make her love you, man. You can't make her love you.
Dance, baby, pa 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 pa, dance, pa 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 pa.
No, I love you, bitch. You ain't leaving me.
It might have been. But then there was a clip like this of him getting arrested, talking to the officer on the first name basis. And I remember just thinking, I was like, man, I felt sorry for him.
Was he hurting him or something?
Yeah, he smacked his head on the bonnet. So this is the one that was recent after he got inducted into the Hall of Fame and then went back to his hotel room apparently. And
who did he hate?
His wife or his fiance. And his daughter had to.
Now?
Yeah, no, and his daughter had to like go downstairs with her mom and be like, call the cops. Imagine that. That's not the first time that's happened. And it's yuck, man. It's yuck having to even speak on this because he's a guy that when he first came up, I remember watching him at UFC 94.
Yeah,
he fought Stephen Bonner, and that was the first time I saw him fight on pay-per-view live. And I was like, yo, this guy is special.
Yeah, he is.
And I was a fan of him, and he was a fan of me till he realized he wanted to fight me. And then he became not a fan, and then we had this beef for a while, and the fight never transpired yet. But then when I see shit like this, even this one, when I saw this, I felt like I'm empathetic. I'm a human being,
For sure, yeah.
I'm like, man, what a waste. What a waste of potential. Also, the fact that he's been popped for steroids. How many fucking times?
Listen, everybody can't handle God's gifts.
Nah. He's his own worst enemy, man. And this is the thing. I've made mistakes, Mike. Look, I'm a human being. Like I said, there's no good or bad people. People are just capable of great good or great evil. I've done some bad things in myself. I've made some mistakes, but I learn from those mistakes. I don't make the same mistakes over and over and over again. And that's why, knock on wood, I've never ended up on TMZ for a bad reason. You know what I mean? Because he's been on TMZ for how many times just for the wrong reasons. And it's just sad to see, man.
Some of the most successful people have the lowest self-esteem.
Facts.
You don't believe that.
Facts.
The most successful. That's why, because they have a low self-esteem. That's why.
Facts. I've been there because when I was coming up in New Zealand, like I said, being one of the only black kids in the school in the town, survival mechanism for me was people pleasing. And I realized it reared its ugly head in my adult world a little bit. And now I know how to kill it whenever I feel it.
Or having to conform to their culture or whatever.
Bro, I used to try and talk like them. I used to try and do this, literally. And I realized, bro, I don't even look like you. Why am I trying to sound like you? I don't even, and I realized, I'm not supposed to fit in. I'm meant to stand out. I was never meant to fit in. So that was one of the things that helped me get over that hump. And like I said, it's something that...
I can't believe I saw Jon Jones smash his head on that car.
Hey,
I can't believe that.
Cocaine is one hell of a drug, Mike. Cocaine is one hell of a drug.
I just thought they had... I didn't know. I was asking just, because I know, I thought y'all were going to fight at one point or something.
We were.
Like that,
I mean, it's, the night's still young, put it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's his own... fight Francis. He's been talking about going to heavyweight since 2013. I said it and I did it. I don't just talk about it. I did it. I went up in weight class. He's never, and he can. But I'm like, yo, go fight Francis. Tell me how that is.
What do you think will
He needs a lot of love right now. He shouldn't be fighting nobody.
He needs help. He needs God. He's from a religious family. He needs to surround himself with the right people and not say, this is God's test for me. No. This is not God's test for you.
I don't care how much you're religious. If you're not ready for him, he's not coming.
Nah. All that's a mask. Like I said, he came into this game, or not just him as well. I'll say other people. You've seen the other athletes, other actors or actresses, they come in and try and Tupac said it, but it said something about being a role model. That's the fakest two things in the world because you're playing a role and you're modeling a behavior. So I've always said, this is why I love guys like Puma who fuck with me because I'm not someone's role model. People are like,
yes, you are.
No, but I'm not playing it.
You can't choose
that.
I'm
not
that
playing
control.
it.
Your accomplishments, your skills made you a role model automatically.
Me being myself made me a role model. Okay, but what I'm saying is, the way he was back in the day when he was sponsored by Nike and all that, he used to be all this thank God.
Who's that?
Jon. He'd be behaving this certain way and then behind the scenes acting a different way. I am the same way on camera.
Catches up to you, that comes back to haunt you.
Yeah.
God knows when you bullshit. God created bullshit.
Facts.
I'm such a sucker for a specialist. whether it's a style bender specialist or a striking specialist or a Damian Maia specialist. I love watching the guys that are like at the tip of the ability in whatever their discipline is.
And Stylebender, man, he seems to be getting better every time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for him, it was just about avoiding takedowns. Like, he was so high level as a kickboxer. He's so clever. Like, he's like, in my opinion, probably the very best in the sport at setting traps.
Yeah.
He'll like gauge you, see what you're doing, then he'll switch stances.
He's getting some information.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not random. And I like the way he deals with the takedowns. I mean, he knows where he's safe and where he's not. You don't see that he's panicking. He's like, yeah, it's a minute. Let this cook a minute. But I seen what this attempt looks like. I see what this one looks like. I'm walking it through. All right, now my party's going to start.
Yeah.
His guy, I talked to one of his guys he trains with. I was refereeing some fights in China. And it's one of the guys he trains with in New Zealand. And this guy was telling me so much and showing me different things about angles they do and things that they set up in their striking that I never knew or thought about. And this was before I saw him start fighting in UFC. Everybody was aware of him, but he hadn't been in the UFC yet. And man, these guys are really smart. The techniques, like, this sport is growing so much,
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, when you're seeing like really high level, super technical strikers like him, like who's a world class. I mean, as good. He easily could be world champion in many organizations as a kickboxer. To see him now in the UFC and see guys having to deal with that, it's like, oh, okay. This, like, the Anderson fight's a great example. We know how great Anderson is. Yeah, and he still looked pretty good against Stylebender, but you could see why Stylebender was special in that fight. He had like another level of trickery. Yeah.
And I mean, and the stuff Jon Jones is doing. Yeah. But so you can't call him a specialist because, man, he does so many different styles, right? It's it's really like a kung fu movie, right, where he changed styles.
Yeah.
And then they do something.
Yeah. Well, John's such a good kicker too. I mean, that's interesting that he started out as a wrestler, because like how much of his style now is kicking you. It's a giant part of his game, his utilization of those long ass legs. Right,
and it's interesting like how much time it looks like he's getting information a lot, right? And then all of a sudden, then when he shifts gears, it's like, okay, I've gotten a lot of information, and here's what I'm gonna do with it.
Yeah.
Well, for me, what's interesting when I watch any of the heavier guys fight is like, they really have to understand where they're safe and where they're not. That's something that Jon does really good. Yeah. How to be in the pocket in the places where he's safe and knowing where,
He's the best ever at utilizing his reach. Like, no one's ever been better at controlling reach and then never letting a guy reset. When guys try to reset, bam, he kicks him. Bam, he kicks him again. Bam, he kicks him again. He's like, he knows when you're trying to get comfortable, when you're trying to settle in, and that's when he kicks you. Like, it's almost like he senses it and he just starts battering you. Like, he sees like, no breaks, no breaks, no breaks, no breaks.